Hey, thanks for checking out Fast 80s Chop Shop. Here you have every right to be wrong, and I'm going to break it down for you. Um, I was going to title this, and I still may. Can you say the thing without actually saying the thing? And what I mean by is in the world of YouTube and social media, um, there's certain words like back in the day. There was a common word. It was called retarded, and society made that word a bad thing, and we changed the meaning, or not the meaning, excuse me. We didn't change the meaning. We changed the word that means the same thing. Famous George Carlin had a skit about that, where they used to call shell shock, and they dumbed it down to what now it's called PTSD, and it means the same thing, and it's politically correct. But maybe if we still called it shell shock, these poor guys might get some help, and I agree with him completely. But just that word as an example, and they changed the word, mentally challenged, down and down and down it goes. But whatever the new word happens to be, I don't know, because I don't follow all that closely, other than for social media purposes, because I have to, and this is how stupid it is. If I can say the word that means the same thing as the original word meant, and it means the same thing, so why not just say the word? And there's all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to have a conversation today where I literally have to parse my words. You'll obviously understand what I'm saying based on my words, and it means the same thing. Where if I just came out and said it, I think they on YouTube now it's you call it essayed, which is another one of those words. So I read an article that in Germany, it was yesterday or the day before, they decriminalized photos of children in bad light, adults doing horrible things. See what I mean? I have to say that instead of saying what it really is. Instead of calling the guy that is that way what he is. So in order to get this video out, I have to dumb it down. And really, you're not dumb, I'm not dumb, but the people enforcing these policies for sure. So in Germany, they decriminalized guys or ladies who like looking at real bad pictures with toddlers in it. They decriminalized that. And then there's a group of people that are all for that in Germany, and they're saying what's next? What's next for them on their list is they want to get messing around with what would now be considered minors, no longer a crime, all the way down to the age of 12 years old. 12 years old. And here's what's even grosser. They said that toddlers, people under 12, are going to be a separate issue that they'll deal with later. So they're incrementally trying to make it acceptable. In fact, the article said that groups such as NAMBLA, look it up, are saying that people who like minor attractive persons, see what I mean about speech, they don't feel safe because society demonizes them, and they're not really bad people, and they're really trying to get society to accept them. And in our current political and social climate, they're going to win. I told my wife a couple of years ago, and nobody believed me at first. And this was several years ago. This was sometime right when COVID was coming out. I said, in our country, it's not going to be long. I said, give it 5 years. So I said that in 2020. I might be off a little bit. It might be a little longer, but who knows at the speed of light that everything's going. I said in our country, right before Rome fell, they had bathhouses with toddlers in it, where adults could go and satisfy their wishes with toddlers. And that was right before Rome fell. And I'm a firm believer, if you study history, that the revolution of sexual escapades, as it expands, the likelihood of that society collapsing skyrockets. In fact, right before the collapse of any great society, that stuff's going on. And I said, with the way things are going, they're going to make it acceptable to have bathhouses in America with toddlers. And everyone's like, no, that's not going to happen. I said, well, if you study history and you see that that always happens as a society fails and ultimately falls, I was hoping I was wrong, but I knew I was right. And guys, just because this is going on in Germany doesn't mean that it's still overseas. It's here. It's here already. It just hasn't happened yet. You got to remember that the totalitarians of the world, the sickos of the world, they no longer think regionally. They think globally. So when you see something happening in another country that frightens the hell out of you, it's coming here. In fact, we most likely imported those thoughts and those groups to Germany and to the rest of the world that will allow us. Say what you want about certain countries that wish to do us harm in the Middle East. One thing you can't say is that they're wrong. Take on certain things. Take Russia and Putin. Putin has specifically said that he does not want Western values, today's Western values, infiltrating his country. And I actually don't disagree with him. I don't think he's wrong. He's an evil man. He's a dictator. But he's not wrong on that. And if an evil man and an evil dictator is not wrong about something that your country is doing, then what you're doing is worse. So, guys, if you have kids and you have grandchildren, you need to talk to them. You need to ever more be protective of them. It used to be guys running around in the white vans and, hey, if somebody offers you candy, run, that type of thing. No, it goes beyond that. Next step was, hey, if you're talking to someone online, once society accepts it, that's going to go on in public, in the open. These people are going to actively try and date in public, in the open. That means that situations where years ago you didn't have to worry about your children, like when my kids were growing up, if they were by themselves, mom and dad weren't anywhere, but if they were with family at a function, out and about with a group, not worried about it. Today you have to be. Today you have to be. You have to be concerned about your children 24/7 as this stuff becomes more and more prevalent. Because back in the day, those folks used to have to be worried about you, number one, knocking their lights out, but number two, calling the police, whatnot. Now, we're heading into a day and age where the police are going to go, oh, what do you want me to do? It's legal. So tell me what you think. Am I wrong about what's coming, or am I right about what's coming? Check it out.